Okay, how about that now? 2025 in summary. Now I got an ad showing up. Here we go. So here's all the icons of stuff that we discussed in 2025. I put them up on for a video, then I hide them after. But I'm sorry my mic wasn't working. Y'all know it's a bad habit I have. I mute the mic while the countdown's going on, so y'all can't hear me curse when I can't get none of the stuff together, nothing working right. What I was doing is actually trying to download my phone or back up my phone. I haven't did it in 2 months. I did lose my phone one time. It took one time for me to lose my phone and everything I had on it for a couple of months worth of stuff. So about every 2 months, I make sure I download it. Well, as I was backing it up, apparently the computer, when it does a backup, even though you're going through iTunes, just backing up the phone, it then uses this network. At the same time, I'm trying to upload one of the 3 videos I made today for y'all. And so this phone's trying to upload an hour's worth of video while I was trying to start this live, and OBS kept telling me, you don't have internet, goofy. So I had to cancel the upload. I had to cancel my backup of my phone, but here I am. What I was saying earlier was I have been in the lab here at the Grumpy YouTube Studios all day today. I'm working on 3 different videos for y'all. I've actually put out, one of them with the fireworks, working on 2 more videos for y'all. Just finished the second one, about to start the third one, and that's going to be mass chain. Kind of a background, kind of digging into it a little bit, what it's about and stuff like that. I'm working on that video. I was in the process of uploading it. That's going to be released tomorrow. And then that's a part 1 and a part 2. Part 2 is going to be me actually taking a Raspberry Pi, which is just a helium sense cap, and I'm gonna start from the beginning because I know some of y'all have asked. I've seen some people ask in the Discord for apparently they didn't get out of helium soon enough, so they are going to get out of. They're asking about getting out of helium and turning their device into a device for mass chain. So I'm gonna start with a very quick how to get this device onto Raspberry Pi with a fresh install, how to install the dongle, how to get AIS catcher, then how to get it onto, mass chain. So you're getting some testnet tokens. That's what's going on with that. So happy 2026 to everybody. I wanted to do a video on everything that's kind of happened in 2025 and what we are hoping for 2026, but what the hell do I know? I've called 2025 completely wrong. I feel horrible for y'all. That's why I don't like doing predictions. But everything we saw before, we thought we were going to, see some type of alt season bull market towards the end of the year. I kept saying end of November, December, and that blew by, and we're probably worse off than we were at the beginning of this year. I never did even go compare, but hey, that's what it feels like to me. And some of our projects did not do well. Some are barely hanging on. Some we still have hope for. I was discussing with somebody earlier about take some of this stuff off. Someone brought up GeoNet. How do I feel about GeoNet? And I've said before about I have that Grumpy's rules of crypto, and one of them is I can really like a project, but the rewards suck. And in Demo, I'm sorry, I'm clicking on Demo's thing. GeoNet. GeoNet's got a halving coming up in 5 months, and I think that's going to hurt people. And while some people don't mind still making $1 a day, that's not what I think it's going to hurt. I think what it's going to hurt is people who need to buy tokens. Who's buying a token? Where's this last icon at? Who's buying a miner for GeoNet at $650 when you're gonna be making $1 a day? When you have to really be in it for the tech to buy GeoNet. But again, I think GeoNet is one of the most positive projects we have out of all the ones we discuss in this channel. So, Bjorn, happy 2026 to you. You know, you should be coming up soon to the second day of 2026. So you should be able to tell us how the 2026 is looking. Is it looking any more positive? You know, you're in the future. Tell us how it is from the future, man. Dave McDrip wants to know if Germany is as it looks on social crazy as it looks on social media, and depending on what you see on social media. Boy, we can have a talk about that. We were talking about that earlier in my Discord with Who Fought It. You know, it's crazy what social media wants to show and send us down, stuff like that. Milkman, what's happening? Ontario Miner, no sound. Yeah, I think I fixed it. B13, what's happening? Happy New Year. Dave, Happy New Year. You know, and you know, I'm gonna do put a poll up real quick. Let's see. Let's start a poll and say, how about a poll for y'all? I know y'all like polls. What do you think is going to happen in 2026 crypto and deep in market? You know, do some of y'all feel that there's two separate things? One reason why, for some reason, this looks really, really dim for some reason, but one reason why, because it's too bright. One reason why I picked a gold Happy New Year to wear for y'all was this is kind of practice for my Wingbits. I keep telling y'all when Wingbits goes TGE, I'm supposed to have this huge party and stuff like that, even though some of my excitement's gone for that because of how long it's taken. That should be my poll. Do you think Wingbits will go TGE in 2026? One reason I picked gold is, man, if we would have gotten gold instead of into gold instead of deep in, like my buddies at work, yeah, we'd be up. We would be up. Evan says, good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Good evening. I bet Lakeland, Florida could do a mass chain station. Got some water around it. I don't know. I don't know how close that is. 33 miles to the waterway. There you go, man. Mass chain. I'm telling you, I just have a feeling, and don't get me wrong, I have been wrong before. This is not financial advice. We don't know what the future holds, but mass chain's got like 3, 4, 5, 6 stations in the United States so far. DIY, is available until they go to, until they go to mainnet. You might want to, if you could probably do a station for close to $100. Mass chain. If you live around the coast. But I was really, and in the video I was in earlier, I was really, really analyzing these ship tracker websites when I was making this video earlier. That was way longer than it probably needs to be as usual, but I put chapters in it for everybody. Website. I keep saying I think yeah, one I've never talked about before was I've talked about Mississippi and Great Lakes and stuff like that, but they got a lot of interior rivers and stuff that are getting tracking. Um, I don't know what any of these rivers are. I'm sorry, maybe I should. I know the Pearl River is right here. The Pearl River goes up through Columbia. I know they have the Red River right here. Goes to Shreveport. See if I can blow it up for y'all a little bit. But yeah, I just, I'd like to see people. I know some of y'all, even this one, like Albany, goes up. My point is, I see people who always say, "Man, I don't live on the coast. I don't live by a busy waterway." I would go to this website and check it out. Of course, I want y'all to go check it out after the live is over with. You have a good night, man. Look, I do appreciate all support. Y'all know sometimes I let the trolls get to me, and I shouldn't. I should be too mature for that, but I think it's because I do this channel. I do this channel. I'm gonna say at the kindness of my heart, but like I don't have any kind of interior motives. I keep telling y'all, YouTube pays me about $1.50 per video. Hardly anybody uses my Amazon links, unless there's a new popular thing coming out. Um, I might make 30, $40 a month on helium deploy stuff. Sales have really slowed down on everything. I'm not going to try to knock a certain project. So look, I'm doing this as a way of helping y'all out and kind of entertainment for myself and for y'all and for all of us to get together and throw ideas. Look, we get some great ideas from y'all. I'll say all the time, me and Who Fought It, we're like brothers. We get along like this sometimes in the Discord. Y'all can see it, but like I really like Mass Chain. I would not know anything about Mass Chain if it wasn't for Who Fought It. He found it when it was the previous website. Now it's this. I hope he's not in here because I don't want him to hear all this. But I'm telling you, I do it everything like a team thing. Like we're all in it together. Look, I got 36,000 subscribers. I get 100 something views. I don't know what the other 35,900 people are looking at or why they subscribe if they don't watch the videos. I can't concern myself on that. When I get these trolls that come onto Discords and different things and say I'm only doing this because of codes or because I'm poor and all the stuff like that. Look, I am poor. I don't care who says it. Am I completely poor? No. I got lights. I got a decent sized house. I got a kid in college, a kid in high school. But if I told you I was in my checking account right now, y'all probably wouldn't believe me. It is what it is. But I'm not doing this so I can make $20 a month. And that's why the trolls, it just bothers me when because they don't know. And they're gonna sit there and tell people in all these discords that that's what I'm doing, and it just bothers me. And I shouldn't let it bother me. I'm too old for that crap. But it is what it is. Am I happy when I got people buying Wingbits and GeoNet devices using my code and I get to make 30, $40 off of them? Sure. Who wouldn't if it's that much? But it ain't consistent. It ain't what you can block. I'm telling you right now, nobody's buying nothing. That's just me being honest with y'all. In fact, In fact, and this is me just being really open and honest with y'all because I can see it both ways. Not Wingbits devices, but some of the other ones that I told y'all people buying, people are getting their money back on. They're canceling orders, which then takes that money back from me. So, you know, it is what it is. I do this to help everybody out. I want everybody to be successful. I've always said, I don't care for the Fry project, but if you're in Fry, I hope you're successful, and that's all it is to it. So, you know, it's. I wanted to go see what's going on affiliates on the Helium Deploy and on HiFix. I want to see if anybody's even buying or returning anything. Just kind of curious because it kind of like lets me know what's the current mood of the market and stuff like that. So somebody returned an item, and the last thing I had purchased was a Nubla Cloud Node. I don't get it, but hey, thank you for your purchase. I don't know. I'm telling you, sales have slowed down and everything, and I think it's the mark. I think it's DPIN. We all kind of have the same attitude right now towards DPIN. Is who wants to get in DPIN? Can't even sign into one of them. I got too many affiliates. Ooh, let's see what I got pinned. This is HiFix. HiFix. The last thing somebody purchased was that I told you before, mobile. So nobody's purchased anything in like 3 weeks on HiFix. At least using my code. I'm sure they got people purchasing stuff, but my point is things have slowed down a lot, and I think that is the current crypto deep pin deal altogether. I got some deep demo tokens and HiFix tokens, and I haven't even seen if HiFix did their not HiFix Natix did the drop today. I had somebody who contacted me on DM. I'm not gonna say his name, who said he has been trying for a month now to get his 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 tokens out. Not HiFix. It ain't Nubla. Gosh dang, man. Natix. Nubla, HiFix. It all comes the same. Natix. So he told me, he said, look, you might want to let your guys know I'm having problems getting my Natix out. So I'm wondering if I should try to go ahead and get my Natix out. I know some of y'all are staking with them, but have any of y'all tried in the last month to get anything from Natix, and have y'all had issues? I'm curious. I wanted to ask. So far, the poll, I got 7 votes. I need 7 likes. Please hit the like button, please. Y'all know I'm working very hard to try to get the algorithm back in my favor. So please try to get that my seven thumbs up, please. But so far, I had 7 votes, and it looks like I might have 4 for keeping sideways, 2 for to the moon, and 1 for more downward action. Yep. So I got my drop today of Natix. I got a full. Now I'm gonna tell you right now. Um, even though I went to the hunting lease a couple of times and stuff, for some reason I was very low on. I think I did the timing of my cycle wrong, whatever you want to call it, for Natix, for my nitro and stuff like that, and I was ranked very, very low, even towards the end of the month. But it looks like I got about 9,000 Natix, which I know that's going to be about $1, but Natix. Man, one day I just hope to see this price start going back up. You know, they're working, they're doing stuff. You know, that's what's kind of disappointing. Um, see if I can get it centered a little better for y'all. Up 1% for the week. Made $2.50 for the month. Or if that ain't the most piss poor. I got $260 worth of natives after running it for what we've been in for 2 years now. It's sad. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with the ADIX. But you know, because at one time I was up to like $700-800, and this token price is just taking this complete down 22% for the month, down 76% for the year. You know, it came back up for a while. I really wish it would. I really wish it would get back up, man. Really wish it would get back up. Oh, bought a split from a 40 Sky. So power flow flew. Don't go nowhere. I want to talk to you about that. B13 says, yeah, I think people are burnt out from alt and deep end. I really do too. And look, it's been a long day. I was up late last night, of course, with my kids blowing up stuff. There was one deep pin we went over. I'm trying to think of what it was that's up. Silencio. The Silencio kind of held. I want to thank some of y'all. I know some of y'all have contacted me about using my referral code for Silencio. Up 2%, up 20% for the week. Listen, if I guess I'm supposed to be showing y'all this, up 20% for the week. Listen, this when it's green on the screen, Grumpy don't care that he's wrong. Maybe I need to put that on a t-shirt. Where's D Vaselino at? When it's green on the screen, Grumpy don't care when he's wrong. Hey, is it up a lot? No, but it's up 78% for the month. 78% for the month. Has the raffle ticket thing dropped? Claimed your liquid staking tokens. You earned 984 additional raffle tickets. Yeehaw. Staking. I have almost 2 million. I'll probably have 2 million tokens by the time I'm done with this one. Let's see. What's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 300. Boy, I never thought I would have $300 worth of Silencio. Now, so y'all been doing the Silencio in-app thing or on the desktop where you can speak into it. I don't know how that works because it's supposed to be what you get so many dollars of USDC an hour. I went and attached all my wallets, and I sat here for 20 minutes and did a whole bunch of them, and it didn't show me gaining any money. So I don't know what the trick is to that, but for those of y'all who asked for my referral code, but I would say, if any of y'all have downtime, again, not financial advice, but it doesn't cost you anything either. But if any of y'all have downtime, sitting in front of a computer screen with a microphone and just sitting here talking, you can make up to $10 an hour while they still have these hours left. You know, let's see. Payment history, in-app token, Silencio. See, I still got all this stuff pending. So maybe when this is done pending. If anybody wants my referral code, here it is, 5CQ. I think it's you know, I still say I think the whole sound thing part of it is over with. Be wrong, but to me, this is like I still say this is like a completely joint, like a forked project of Silencio. Do y'all agree with me on this? Like, this is not, if you watched the videos and you saw what Silencio was about in the beginning, this was not what they were about at all. They were about, hey, what's the sound pollution, and sound pollution's bad, and people always having to hear sound pollution, and venue this and venue that, and capture hexes, and don't drive your bike too fast. You need to be walking. And now we're sitting in front of a computer and just speaking, and just following dialogue. It's say you're on 500 tokens if you just sit here and talk about your favorite pizza place for 20 seconds. If you sit here and read this, it's 236 in-app tokens. And then if you go to opportunities, speak in English and press continue, now you sit here and you talk. And then I guess, I wonder if you have to reach in 1 hour to get to 10, or once I get it registered with me or whatever like that, then I get it. But all you do is you click to start recording, and you sit here and talk. You say this paragraph. And then depending on which language you know, there's several different ones. So if you know these other languages, maybe I should have took Spanish in school instead of French, and I still can't say a single French word. I've always wanted to know Mandarin, but my favorite foods. But for those of y'all who know dual languages, you can sit in front of this thing and just watch. I was wondering about just sitting in front of the TV sitting in front of the TV, watching TV with a laptop in front of me, with a microphone, and just speaking it. But again, I still think this is a different Silencio. I think this is just different. So y'all make sure you hit the like button. I ain't got too much longer. I said my wife has been cooking today, which this is the once a year that she cooks. Go ahead and just say that and get in trouble. But she laughs about it. She cooks a crawfish type pasta thing, casserole recipe that her mama gave her. And every New Year's Day, she cooks it. Takes about 2 hours to cook. And of course, in perfect timing, it's supposed to be ready around 7:30. So everybody's gonna be sitting there waiting for me because we eat together for the holiday. So, I'm like, you knew all day I had this live tonight, because I even made sure she got me the hat, for the video. But I'm not gonna sit there and make them wait too long. So, what else? Anybody got anything you talk about my splitter? Oh, powerful! Look, let me know how it turns out, because I contemplated that same thing, because y'all know it took me some time to put the 4D Sky device up, and I have a number of Wingbit stations. But in the past, when I have tried to split, I have one station I've told y'all down in Grand Isle where the guy who, when you have to compromise with a host, it's about compromising. Because of the building he had it on, even though it was his building, but for some reason, I don't know if he gets public money for certain things or something, but he just felt bad if, even though he's not making anything, he just felt bad if I put a Wingbit station on top of his building and I was making pure profit from it. So he wanted me to also upload. He knew a very little bit about FlightAware. So he made me also run FlightAware as a public way that public can see the activity, because there's a lot of helicopters there, especially on Monday mornings with the offshore stuff. He wanted me to make sure that the public can see that mapping stuff. Now, again, this was way before Wingbits. That station's been there for a year and a half, at least. But what I initially tried, I put it on 2 different pies, and then I used the splitter, which I thought I had one here, but I think you'll have it at the office. But I had it on the splitter that split into one antenna, and I noticed that during that splitter, I lost at least 25% of my mileage and 25% of my messages and 25% of my aircraft. Now, I wouldn't say half. I wouldn't say only a few. It was a noticeable difference in everything. You lost the signal. And look, I've tried using the green or the blue SDRs that are amplified, and I even tried upping the gain, even maximum the gain, and I still did not regain what it was when I tried to do it separately. I even tried the what I mentioned in the mass chain video is on my current Wingbits DIY devices, when I lose a green or sometimes blue SDR, I have been going back to these because I find these are a better full receiver than those plastic ones. It's the metal one. But I also add one of those purple LNAs from either AliExpress or one of the LNAs or whatever they are from Amazon. My point is I even took one of those LNA amps and put it onto a black one and the green one at that location. And to make a stupidly way long story short, I still cannot overcome the splitter. Now, if you're using a better splitter than that or a commercial grade splitter, you might not have that issue. But I just had a basic splitter that I bought from Amazon because I wasn't going to invest that kind of crazy money into it. And like I said, it detrimental, is that the word to use, my signal so much that I feel evil for saying this, but what I did is I then put a single source wire from my Wingbits device to the antenna that was way on the roof so I can hit damn near the Cuba, because I am the godfather of the golf, the stopper of the golf. And then I put a little POS, if y'all know what POS stands for, POS antenna out the side wall, zip tied it to the gutter for his flight aware station, which actually the backside of the building is not the greatest, of course, because it has a building block in it, but towards the Gulf, it's still wide open. It gets almost as near coverage as what the Wingbit station does. But my point is, of all that, I had to split it. So I'm curious if you noticed your before and after of Wingbits. You can probably even go to your Wingbit station now and look and see how much of a cut you took. But my biggest question is on the 4D Sky, that antenna is a 1090 ADS-B / GPS antenna. So is it pulling the GPS it needs accurately or enough satellites? Or are you using that 1090 antenna from 4D Sky in place of your Wingbits antenna? Or did you all install them all at the same time? I know it's a lot of questions. But anyway, so yeah, I got one of these chanky, cheap ass. Which on some things it works. Some things it works. But I've split Wi-Fi. I split some stuff like with cell modems and stuff with that I didn't need that much bandwidth, and even if it's detrimental to it, it didn't bother me that much. But you tell me, have I discussed the new? I'm assuming that's the Nubla node recipe. I mean, new recipe. I'm reading recipe and I'm hungry because I smell her food right now. It's killing me. That's why I can't talk. Dude, I gotta. Thank you for reminding me of that, because Grumpy has not even sticky note. Grumpy has not even set up his own Nubla nodes, and still, from what I understand, I also, as part of that contest, if y'all saw me win in November, thank y'all very much. That helped me with that, with helium deploy, since I was one of the top 3 people that you know, people use my referral code that month, me and Tech Hustler and stuff, I won a free Nubla node. News to me. But that's when I asked him, like, what the hell did I win? Oh, you won a Nubla node. I'm like, gee, thanks. I have to set one up. I got to figure out what to set one up. It doesn't, I saw that they had some instructions on it. That's why I have a second. This one feels heavier. What the hell's in it? Second Lenovo computer. Because I think I might have to set them up on 2 separate ones. So, I haven't gotten into this one yet. If it's got a optical drive in it, I'm gonna remove it, put a cheap SSD in it, see how much RAMs it's got in it. Some of them got 4, some of them got 8, some of them got 12. If it's got 4, I'm gonna up it, and I'm gonna run the nodes off of these. I don't know. You know, I don't think you can run 2 instances of nodes. I don't know. I don't know what kind of rewards we're getting. Nubla, I'm so disappointed in. You see how much excitement I have by it. So it's only a web GUI for now. It's a real treat. Good luck. I'm gonna have to do some research on it. Allergies are killing me. We went from 80 degrees 3 days ago down to 30 and 29. And then we're back up to 70 something degrees. We're at 60 right now. And my allergies are just, sinuses and my allergies are killing me. So, so power floof. Hey, hit me up, hit me on a DM on Discord so you can keep me up to date on that, because my 40 guys in my backyard, I will say my double pole, which is my double fence poles or whatever, they're zip tied to another short pole that's coming out my ground. We had 30-mile-an-hour winds 2 days ago. It's got a slight lean now, like a barely slight lean, but it survived it. But again, that's only supposed to be temporary because it's right underneath that tree. You know, if I can somehow put a splitter on it and not lose flights on Wingbits, I can go move it to a building rooftop somewhere. I have the UAT 978 antenna, and it's getting 0 flights. I don't know if I don't have something turned on, but I'm getting 0 flights. Where my FlightAware station says it's getting UAT flights. So I don't know. But yeah, Power Floof, hit me up on Discord. Make sure you're unless you're on a different name. I know I've never seen the name Power Floof. It's a cool name. I haven't seen I haven't seen the name Power Floof in my Discord. So make sure you're in my Discord. Links in the description below. At least it should be. Yep. To join the new Grumpy Discord, please go here. So I appreciate all the support for now. Look, I hope everybody has a happy 2026. I hear my wife screaming it's time to eat. Again, this was a short live, but it's the holiday. I didn't know if I was gonna have one at all. But so you should see Mass Chain coming out video tomorrow morning at the very least. And not really the how-to video. I know for a fact, like I said, I got the video done. It was trying to upload when I was doing this live, but you know, a video about Mass Chain, what it's about, what I kind of feel about it, pluses and minuses and stuff like that. And then a how-to video on how to set up a Pi on Mass Chain. So I know several of y'all have asked for that, and it's going to be a very basic video starting from taking a Pi that needs to be programmed all the way through to the end. And then testing out my homemade antenna right here that I trimmed myself. I really thought 162 megahertz was going to be a lot longer than 36 inches, but it was, you know, 35 and the eighth or something like that. I put it at 35 and or 35 and a half, and the SWR was still off. You got to trim a little bit more of it, and trimming it was a pain in the butt because I had to use a metal saw, and it was a pain in the butt. But y'all make sure you hit the like button. I appreciate it. It needs to implement drone tech. Drones is the future. Kyle, the problem with drones is nobody knows what the standard's going to be. You have them arguing for 1090. You have them arguing for 978. You got them arguing for something else. Nobody knows what the tracking is going to be. So how do they plan for what they're going to do now? And I will still say, as somebody who was on the phone with somebody last night about the French Quarter in New Orleans with we had a terrorist attack last year. There are some very big players in that game. Very big players with big, deep pockets that don't need to go fundraise, that don't need to rely on, Bob and Joe having a station online in their backyard. There's some very big players. Now, again, those very big players charge a lot of money for that service. That's why some of these agencies around here and some of these petroleum plants don't have drone detection because they charge stupid amounts. Maybe that's the give and the take. I don't know. But the problem is there are some very big players in this game. So like when I see some of these new projects coming that have no backing or nothing, say we're doing drone detection, you can throw a rock in the deep end closet and you're either going to hit somebody wanting to do weather or somebody wanting to do drone detection right now. So I think I've seen like 2 or 3 different projects right now. I was going through my old Discord. My Discord, trying to just remove myself from some servers I don't visit no more. And I'm seeing some of them where it was like drone detection. And I'm like, what next? So, well, I keyed right there. But there's some 3-letter abbreviated federal sod people that also have it locked into. Or some companies that are locked in with those 3-letter agencies. So if you run some big petroleum plant where you have to worry about drones and, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a name. SanDisk drone detection comes up to you and says, look, our stuff's so good. Homeland Security and the 3-letter agencies rely on us. That's how good our shit is. If your petroleum company had some deep pockets, who you going with? Some company from crypto that it's just starting out, or you going with the company that's got Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, whatever, and 3-letter agencies working with them? That's why I keep saying I know drone detection is the new kind of high tech drone stuff and stuff like that for people in our generation, like y'all generation. But I don't think it's that wide open. But who knows? Who knows? All right, guys. To yours, you're welcome anytime, man. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everybody who's helped me out in 2025. I gained, I don't even know how many subscribers. I probably need to do a video 2025 then and now type of thing, whatever. But I appreciate it. My wife's screaming, it's time to eat. I thank y'all for all the support. And we'll see what 2026 brings. Deep in if you like the tech. That's gonna be the new motto. Y'all, we all laughed at Tech Hustler 4 or 5 months ago when he kept saying all that. And homeboy is right, bro. I probably owe him 2 drinks now. Next time I can ever meet up with him. So, all right, going to eat, then coming right back in the studio and hammering out some more videos and doing some more stuff. So, thank y'all for watching. Hit the like button on the way out. I appreciate it. Happy New Year's to everybody. Go check out my little 4th of July. My New Year's Eve fireworks BS video. And thank y'all. Somebody get the lights on the way out.